Now this wasn't gonna be my first drone episode, but after seeing how amazing the tracking capabilities were of this drone during my initial testing, I decided to do this one first. And since this drone is a lot different, I picked out certain situations that are a drone operator's worst nightmare. The first is gonna be having the drone track a person as they go through the woods with literally millions of obstacles. Then I'm gonna have it track my car while I drive under a steel bridge. And last but not least, trying to operate the drone in an area bombarded with electromagnetic interference, as well as large pieces of steel lying around that would make the compass and any other drone go nuts. This drone right here has some amazing tracking capabilities I haven't seen in any other drone. It basically flies itself using these 7 onboard cameras. It uses visual tracking, creating a 3D map of the entire world around it as it flies, and it predicts where the subject it's tracking is going 4 seconds in the future. First test is gonna be where you probably would never fly a drone, in these woods right here. And for this, I'm gonna need a volunteer. This is Daniela. I'm gonna have her try to outrun the drone, try to psych it out the best she can, and she's pretty athletic, so we'll figure it out once we get in there. I've also flown FPV drones in woods, but usually like pine forests where there's a lot of space in between the trees and it's a little bit cleaner. But this type of forest is not a pine forest. There's brush, there's grass, there's tall grass, there's little trees like this one right over there. And these are all obstacles that are very difficult for any artificial intelligence to map out and avoid. And I want to mention, I'm not going to have the drone track them from the back. I'm actually going to have the drone track them from the side, because if you look at the trail at the widest point, which is here, there's only about 10 feet from the trail to the tree. So if I set the drone to track somebody 20 feet out from the trail, it's going to be forced to go through all of those trees as it's tracking the person. I expect it to crash, but that's okay. I have some extra propellers in the car. I want to mention the in the woods situation I'm setting up here is not recommended by Skydio. I just want to see what the technology does when put into a more extreme setting to get a better understanding for the capabilities of this drone. Let's get it going. Let's get our volunteer on the trail, see what happens. So like if I want to go right in between those trees, I just go and push that stick forward. So now we're going to select our subject and set it to track from the left, right there, and go ahead. Oh, here's a nice trail. I would just take off running if I were you. Hold on, let me look at the drone.
I saw one of those about 10 years ago. I thought it was aliens.
Go ahead, Daniela, run that way. It's following her visually.
Oh, visually?
Yeah, visually. It's got her. Man, look at it going around the trees and everything.
That's just simply amazing.
Look at it, look at it. Look at it, it's flying off to the side around the trees. That's insane. It won't lose her.
Not even hitting a little sticks or anything.
That's nuts.
I'm tired. I don't think I'm gonna run it out.
Would you run like a block?
I think so.
Oh man, you're out of shape, Daniela.
I know.
But look at it, it's on you. I mean, that's pretty insane.
Even in between the trees.
It's pretty crazy. All right, cool. Let's go down there and see if you can lose it. So we're in the next spot over here. The drone's just hanging out there trying to figure out where it's gonna go. I'm just gonna have Daniela try to psych it out over here and see what it does. And remember, I am not flying this drone at all. It's completely flying autonomously, all on its own. The only time I touched the control is when I launched it all the way down at the end, which is about half a mile down. Just something to keep in mind. I thought it was pretty cool that I didn't touch the control at all. Hopefully she could shake the drone this time. Let's see. All right, let's do it. Oh, that thing went right in between the trees.
I'm done. I'm done. Guess I'm not much of an athlete as I thought I was.
It's still on you, just watching you.
I know.
What do you think about that?
It's awesome.
Any other drone would have lost you for sure. That's amazing. All right, well, let me land it. That's it for this test. That was nothing short of impressive. So let's see how this drone does tracking a car, not a person. I'm here at my next location with this beautiful steel bridge behind us. I'm gonna keep this simple. I'm just gonna launch the Skydio, set it to track the Supra, and then drive the car back and forth under that steel bridge a few times. I don't know what's gonna happen, but in my past experiences with other drones, when flying near large steel structures like this, you usually get a compass error, or it pops up with a warning saying there's strong electromagnetic interference and asks you to land. I don't think the Skydio is gonna have that problem because it uses 3D visual tracking, but I guess we'll find out. We're gonna go to the low side underneath the bridge first. Oh. It's on it. Look at that. That is pretty amazing. All right, let me do another turn here. Try to take off on it. This time I'm gonna go under the high side. There we go. Whoa, look at that. It actually tracked me right underneath that bridge. That was pretty amazing. I'm just gonna try to do a little spin here. I don't want to attract too much attention. I tracked it. That was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty impressive. I had the height floor set to about 150 feet, So as the drone approached the bridge, it had the option of going over the bridge or under the bridge, and the drone chose to go under the bridge. My guess is because it was able to keep the subject that it was locked on in its sight. I even went under the bridge, came back, tried to confuse the drone, went back and forth, and as you just saw, the drone continued tracking me even though that steel bridge was in the way. For my final test, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna place the Skydio on the flatbed semi-trailer next to a 25,000 pound steel counterweight, which is located in a crane yard next to a power substation, and see what it does. My other drone will not take off here, and it gives me a compass error saying there's strong electromagnetic interference and I need to move to a new location. Let's see what the Skydio does. This is like every drone operator's worst nightmare. There's metal everywhere. There's some more counterweights over there. If this was another drone that used magnetic compasses, it would be going ballistic. Well, there you go. Completely unaffected. This isn't a sponsored video or anything like that. I just really wanted to share this 3D mapping technology with everybody, show people how it works in a real scenario, because I think this type of 3D mapping technology is the future. Imagine if Tesla used something like this in their autopilot. It would be able to actually map out the whole world around the car and avoid animals, pedestrians, objects, garbage in the road, and not rely on the lane markers for the navigation. That would be pretty amazing. It would be just like a person driving. The only difference is it would be paying attention 100% of the time. I thought that was awesome. Tell me what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.